Liverpool v. Everybody. We are back. And big game Sunday. Usually a big game. Guess I expect the same. It seems a little bit odd in general. I think both teams have yet to really get to their max levels, which, it's still in the season is still young. There's time for that to change, of course. Time for both teams to, for lack of a better term, get their act together. Get back in the swing of things. And somehow, between the two teams, Liverpool have managed to climb to the top of the table. And again, still early. Doesn't mean anything at this point. Win any trophies at this point, as far as I know. So, I guess the question I have for you all as supporters is, do you think Liverpool supporters as a whole maybe have gotten a bit too hyped after the Atalanta game? Maybe there's this thought that, oh, now we're in our groove, and talks of Firmino being sat, which I'll get to as far as my prediction for the lineup. Just wondering, just want your opinion on that. I think there's, like anything else, there's probably sections of fans who maybe are, and then there's fans who kind of keep things in perspective and say, look, that's one game, looked really good. Things can change just like that. We get so used to thinking about our unbeaten record at home and how many teams kind of dread playing Liverpool at home. Teams that haven't beaten us in I don't know how long, be it Everton, Arsenal, teams of that nature. As much as we call City's home ground the Emptyhad, we have left there empty quite a bit of times. I think the last time we won there was 2015-16 season, maybe, if I'm not mistaken. So it's been a while, and we've taken some heavy blows against this team, 5-0, 4-0. So is there some hoodoo there for us going to what's called the Emptyhead? I don't know. We'll see. I think there's something about this season's game, this first game against City, that just seems odd to me. Going back to, as I said earlier, neither team is playing really to their max. But City, for me, just haven't really been impressing. But more or less getting a result, whether it be a draw, win. I think they may have 2 losses. I can't really remember. I'm not keeping track with their standings or their wins and losses and draws necessarily. But something just seems off. And I'm not as... It's only Friday, but I'm not as up for this game, which is really strange. I can't really explain why I'm not, but for some reason I'm not. But as it gets closer to Sunday, it's a Liverpool match, so no matter who we're playing, I will get excited. But just the build-up usually, the excitement I usually have is going into a big game like this. Much like Everton. Now, Everton were much better at that time. They were, one of the top teams in the league, and they looked really impressive and things of that nature, and gave us a decent game. But the excitement will come when it comes. I think for me, as good as Jota was, and he was great during the week, I still put Firmino in this game. I think in big games, you kind of just have to put Firmino in. I think he, particularly against City, he tends to perform pretty well, as far as I can remember. So that's the top, and I'll go back goalkeeper and then move back towards the front line. But obviously Alisson in goal for me. Trent, and we really need to see an incredible performance from Trent in this game, I think. He's been doing better as the game's been going on and been looking good, which is nice. And even in the games where he hasn't been maybe 8 out of 10, he's still shown his quality in bits and pieces. But I guess what I'm saying is I feel like we need a complete game from Trent, and I look forward to seeing that. The center back is where a lot of the questions are. And for me, I'm going to say this. Look, as much as I want to see Matip back and another player or two, which we'll get to, I think unless he's 80, 85%, I was going to say 100%, but when has Matip ever been 100%? So I think 80, 85%, really, maybe pushing 90, I'm not playing him. The last thing we need at this moment is to get him injured again. I know people say, look, we get him injured and we'll deal with that after, but just for this game, to me, that's not a good way of looking at things. It's a long season, and we already have injury issues in that part of the team. So to me, if he's not as fit as he can be without maybe re-injuring something, I'm not playing him. And so what that means for me is I'm putting Reece in there. I think his quickness, his agility, he's much more mobile, I should say, than Nat Phillips, although Nat Phillips, again, incredible performance. When he was in, absolutely incredible performance. I've already said I thought he was man of the match and all that. It's good to know that we have him if we need him, but I think in this game, Reese Williams needs to start. And then obviously Gomez by default, and then obviously Robertson. Midfield for me, again, same thing with Thiago. If he's not at a place where we feel like, okay, the doctors aren't saying, look, he's good, shouldn't be able to really risk anything, then I'm not playing him. And so I'm going to go with my lineup with him out of the squad. And I'm going to go with Hendo, Naby, and Genie. Now, wouldn't be surprised if we see Curtis Jones. There's been a lot of negativity about Curtis Jones, not sure why, but Liverpool fans are funny people. Wouldn't be surprised to see him. Wouldn't be surprised to see Milner, although I'd be highly disappointed to see Milner. No, Milner's been a great servant for this club, done some great things, but for me in a game like this, you bring him in maybe if at the end when we have a pretty comfortable lead, maybe 2-0, something like that, maybe even 2-1 to kind of shut it off. But yeah, midfield for me is Genie, Naby, and Hendo. Front three, I said it before, Firmino starts up front for me. That's just me, and then Mane and Salah. So score prediction for me, I would say something tells me a cagey draw. I want to get a win there at their stadium because I hadn't really remembered how long it had been until I heard about it. So I am going to go with a 2-1 tight game. I think it'll be really, really tight until maybe the 70th, 80th minute. We bring on maybe a Jota, a Shaqiri, and maybe we can replicate what we've seen over the past couple weeks with those two linking up. So that's my score prediction. That's my preview. I think all in all, look, we know what City are. City know what we are. There's not going to be too many surprises, I don't think, at least from – actually, maybe there will be. Maybe there will be in a game like this from both managers. It should be a tactical battle. I think, for me, I think they are without Aguero. Jesus is a good enough backup. I think Aguero is their best forward player, best attacking player, all of those things. I think Riyad Mahrez has been, in my opinion, looking good lately for them. So it should be a tight one. I think both defenses can be gotten at. Over the past couple of weeks, looks like Liverpool has tightened that up. We'll see. I guess, City is a different beast all in itself. So, but really, really excited about this and can't wait to see the matchups and how this game goes. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Enjoy your weekend. See you Sunday.